This place is a predator, and you're the prey, man. And some days, it'll let you get away with it. Other days, it will chew you up and spit you out. You've got to be scared of it. If you come here and you're not scared of it, you're an idiot, because you're going to get hurt.
Twisted ankles, dislocated knees, I've knocked myself out, knocked my teeth out.
There are certain type of people they are.
I was registered disabled for a while. They told me probably never going to walk without a stick.
You do forget how to ride a bike. Let me tell you.
There's less judgmental people at a skate park than there is in a church.
I'd like to say it was weirdos at first.
What, grow up and be an adult? That.
Was what was kind of described as like the triple threat.
But I still had this rage inside me.
There was this war with the skateboarders.
Yeah, you have got non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. And I thought, you know, I've got to try and live again.
It's special, you know? You go all over the world, people know this place.
It's just amazing.
This is old school.
It's an amazing place to be.
It's quite intimidating, you know?
No one knew how to make a skate park. They just started pouring concrete.
It was all experimental. It's absolutely extraordinary when you think about it.
I couldn't drive past here and not come in. I don't think my car would let me. I'd have to go a long way around.
It's an incredibly valuable piece of architecture.
It was going bankrupt, it was going to shut.
It's on its arse at the moment as a business, but they still keep it going.
No one here on Saturday. No one. Not one.
It's giving back. It's being part of a inspiring journey to try and get this place full of life again.
We don't get some help, the place could go in complete disrepair, to be quite honest.
It's history. Don't just stop that, man.
And something that these guys that rode 40 years ago is keeping them riding means it's right.
I hear rumours that it's in trouble at the moment, and this is one of the most iconic skate parks there is on the planet.
Hey, Matt, Jeff in Vegas, how are you?
Yeah, good. Yeah, good. I've watched a couple of your shows recently.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
You want to talk to me?
They're good.
Oh, thank you. You know, it's funny. I've got two skater roommates in their 20s here that live with me, and they've watched this 3 or 4 times already. You know.
Oh, cool. Oh, really? Wow.
They go to a skate park down the street from me, and so there's a lot of people with their eyes on this or excited about this. You know, so.
Oh, that's good. That's good to know. Yeah, that's great.
Well, thanks for talking to me about this and about Rom Boys, 40 Years of Rad.
Yeah.
So this skate park, Rom, was established in 1978, Hornchurch, England. This place touched so many lives, young and old, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. It did. I mean, it's funny because you know, you guys, you're in Vegas, aren't you? You're in Las Vegas, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and Andy Ruffle, he's the BMX guy in the film, and he lives in Vegas now. And
he's the one with the media company, right? I think.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. He runs all these events all around the world, and they film them and everything. So, yeah, it's cause I just thought it was kind of interesting how, you know, this skateboarding and BMXing, and it created these kind of entrepreneurial kind of guys, really. That's yeah. I mean, it's bizarre.
What I found fascinating is here's this popular skate park in Hornchurch, England, of all places, Essex County, and there wasn't even a sign for this skate park. It was hidden from. You had to find it on your own, and people were saying they couldn't find it. So I thought, how could something be so successful and not be a simple sign that says "Welcome to Rom"?
Yeah, there still isn't. There's still. I was there yesterday. There's still no sign there. There's still no sign. You know, if you don't know where you're going, you're not allowed in.
I love. You know, I've been to England many times, to London on business, and I just love. There's a slice of Americana in England because I felt so at home watching this. But you also gave it your own British flair. You know.
Right. Yeah. I mean, there's never really been a British film a feature film about our scene, you know, about the British skate scene. You know, I mean, you guys have it with Dogtown, and, you know, I mean, it's such a very typical American kind of story. And that's what sort of attracted me, like trying to put this British spin on it. But then bringing in the big American names as well to you know, to make it of interest for guys like your, you know, roommates there.
And while watching this, I was watching the first time with my roommates, and I said to myself, man, there must be so many broken bones at this place, a history of it. And the moment I said that, you had your segment on that, broken bones, road rash. I mean, Rom is a predator. And I just thought, wow. And we were screaming when we saw some of the footage you were showing about the injuries at Rom.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They still happen. There was a little kid broke his arm yesterday. It goes on, you know.
And I'm sure you had no shortage of finding people to talk about the history of Rom. And did they provide you pictures and videos and stories? I mean, they must have just, once you get what the word was out, you must have just sat back and just let it all come to you.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny actually, because one of the guys I tried to do something 15 years ago. He tried to do a film on Rom, and so he had all these interviews that he was just sort of so overwhelmed that he just gave up. And so when I came back into it, he approached me and said, "Look, I've got all this stuff." So it was great that I could use, you know, all this stuff that he had, because otherwise, without the archive stuff, you know, it's difficult to make a film about a 40-year history of a place, you know. But there's so much. There's people still sending me stuff, you know. It's like I'm like, it's finished, it's done. Stop sending me stuff.
And was it hard for you to focus as a filmmaker because the skate culture has so many subcultures, street art, music, and fashion? Did you just, I know you mentioned a little bit of it in your film, but you just had to keep focused, I'm sure, didn't you?
Yeah, I mean, with the BMX as well, BMX played such a big part in the story of the park, that, you know, that there's, you could, if you're a BMX guy, you just want to do the BMX story. If you're a skate, you know, you just wanted to do that. And so I had to kind of cross both, you know, kind of disciplines to make sure I told I got both sides of the story really. Because I mean, I used to skate as a kid and I used to BMX as a kid, and I was pretty rubbish at both of them. So that gave me...
You and me both.
Yeah. So
I'm what they call a poser. I sit on the side and just wish I could skate, you know. So. Yeah. We have a phenomenon here in America where scooters now are a big, right, go along with, they use the skate parks, but skaters can't stand them. So I didn't know if you had that over in England. You have BMX, which they look like accept them, but scooters, it's like hyenas and lions together, you know?
Yeah, the little kids turn off on scooters, but we hope they grow out of it and get skateboards, you know. All the skaters.
You convinced them, right?
Yeah.
Well, you know, skating was on the verge of dying out shortly after Rom was built. So what do you think was the secret keeping it going in the skate? What was the secret formula to keep skating around in the park's survival?
Well, I mean, it was BMX. It was like ET kind of came out. I mean, if you when I talked to Lance in the film, he said that in the States, in California, about 1980, they started closing all the big concrete parks. So the fact, you know, that Rom is still there is just down to kind of more luck, I think, than anything else.
Well, I did an interview with Tony Hawk's Skate Game. There's an anniversary of that. And a lot of the directors and people I talked to about that documentary said that video game really got skating going again 25 years ago. And it's been, you know, that was popular. Tony Hawk's Skate. I go, video game got skating going again? You know, so I guess it comes from all directions.
It does. I mean, the things with kind of Rom, like skating died off, and then ET came out, so BMX took off. Then in 1985, Back to the Future came out, so skating took off again over here. You know, everyone wanted skateboards, and skating died out. And then it kind of kicked off again at Rom after Dogtown came out in about, I think it was 2000. So then all the guys that had forgotten all about skating watched Dogtown and were like, we used to do that. Let's go back to Rom and, you know.
I did that movie junket in LA. I did Dogtown, one of the best junkets I ever did. They had a whole skate half pipes, everything. They had a whole exhibition going on. We did the interviews there and right on Venice Beach. It was incredible. It really was. So you could see the energy for that. Now that you mentioned that, you know, ET and BMX kind of saved the skate park, that's why that awful movie Rad came out in the 80s. I guess that's why I was like, why are they making this movie about BMX bikes? But I guess that's the sign of the time. So, and then in your documentary, you said that the Rom's been listed as a heritage site, or as we call it in America, historical landmark. And does it still have that status? I guess phase 2 or something like that, or?
It's called grade 2. It's a listing thing. So grade 2 just means that they can't knock it down. It's called grade 2 listing. Yeah, you're right. In America was the first place to do it with the Bro Bowl, which is in Florida, in Tampa. There was a bowl, not a full park, just a bowl, and they said, right, this is going to be historically listed. You can't knock it down. But anyway, obviously money speaks a lot louder over in the States than it does here. And they decided, well, actually, we will knock it down, but we'll 3D scan it and we'll rebuild it at the other end of the park and put some houses where it was. So that's what they did. So it's not, there isn't one in America. There's no, heritage recognized park in America. And Rom is the only one in the world, proper kind of full-size skate park that's historically recognized.
As it should be. Yeah, as it should be.
But it's crazy. It's crazy that it's in England. It's not California, really.
Well, I think if they try to destroy some of the existing legacy parks, there'd be an outcry, so, but it's like, I always think I equate skate parks like drive-ins, the land, they became so valuable that a lot of them didn't survive. And the same with skate parks. You see the amount of land on there, it'd be better used as housing but at skate parks here in America, they're always a municipal relationship. A lot of our skate parks here in Las Vegas are built in parks by the city and the county and all that. So is that happening in England? Or is there a partnership, or is all the skate parks a private affair? Private venture?
No, there aren't any private. Rom is the, I think we think it's pretty much what it is. It's the last kind of remaining outdoor private skate park in England. All the others they're council parks. So whereas in 1978, there was just this place and nothing around it for, I don't know, 100 miles maybe, everyone would flock there. But now you go to Rom and within sort of 5 miles, you've got 7 or 8 free council parks. So, you're competing against free, which is almost impossible, really.
Well, I don't know if it's a spoiler, but, at the very end of your documentary, you make us wait, that it closed September 1st on 2019. My roommates were already Googling flights to do a pilgrimage to that place. And we're like, uh-oh, so, and, in America, we do GoFundMe, so with so many people that this park has touched their lives, I would think if you did some sort of public fundraising that you would see a tremendous success with that. I don't know if it's happened or not, but I'm glad there's something at the end of the film that says, it's not over yet. And if it's a heritage site, is this going to be a sign in the front of it and you can never go in, or how does that work?
Yeah, essentially that's kind of what a heritage site is. You kind of look at it through the railings or you use it, but we don't want that. I've got involved with the whole kind of team of guys there, and we're trying to, there's a lot of politics behind the scenes going on, but we're trying to get some funding and really make a big deal of it. But this whole COVID thing has messed everything up this year,
Well, I can't imagine you telling skaters they can't skate at Rom if it's still there. I'm sure the police are out there a lot. Because we drive by our skate park and there's a chain on there. They're like, we don't care. They climb the fence and wait till the marshals come by. And my final thing today, I love how life lessons for kids, like they all can be found at Rom. I thought that was a real important statement that, that they learned so much about, relationships and friendships and camaraderie. And, I think that's what's one of skate's big pluses.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's one of the things about skateboarding, especially in skateboarding in kind of skate parks, is that you get kind of adults like the parents or the parents will do it with the kids. They're not like standing on the sidelines watching them like on a football game. The parents will stand around the edge and watch the kids play. Here, like the dads and they're getting in with the kids. They're chasing each other around them. So that's a really nice part of it. There's not this kind of separation of spectator, and which there was, in the 70s. My dad would take me there and he would stand and watch. But now, I take my daughter, and so we're chasing each other around, and that's really cool,
Well, there was one part in your documentary where they talked about the music of skating. They adopted it, and one of them was Devo, which is like my favorite band ever. And I took my nephew when they were here in Las Vegas, a few years back when he was 14. As I look around, there was all these other parents who brought their kids, 12, 13, listening to Devo. So I just thought, I'm at that age now where, we're passing the baton. So, well, Matt, I really enjoyed your documentary. I think it's for, if I can say, a good cause, a great historical a document on such an incredible sport and a heritage for your country. So thanks for talking to me today, and come visit us in Las Vegas soon. We'd love to have you. I'll come there because I haven't been there in about 5 years, so I'm dying to come back to London. That's why I love it.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, come over. Yeah, I'll teach you to skate.
And then I'd love to go visit Rom. You got to take me there. And I'll tell you about the time that I got Gatwick and what was the other airport? What's the one in north of England? Manchester.
Manchester, yeah.
Great story. When I booked a flight, I got confused. I confused Gatwick and Manchester. And my nephew and I, we came to see Little Britain live, you know, in Christmas.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah.
we're landing, and I'm like, where are all these trees? We got this little British old lady at the information desk. I go, how long is it to London? Where can we? She goes, darling, you're in the north of England. And I was like, you gotta be kidding me. So that's the story when I meet you. There's more to that. So.
Okay.
Well, thanks a lot, Matt, and good luck with the film.
Okay, thanks, Jeff. See you.
Take care.